Hi, welcome. This is Jody with Northern Country Creations. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's doing well. So, I thought I'd turn on the camera because I'm going to start a little bit on my fly fishing journals. So, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I have a fly fishing company that contacted me to make 5 fly fishing junk journals for their online Black Friday sale. So I am doing mass production. So I wanted to kind of show you, the price point had to be the same, of course. I couldn't make 5 journals all different sizes because then the price points would be different. So this is where I'm at. So what I thought would be great is the Reader's Digest books. I have a bunch of them. They're all exactly the same size, and I can make them very similar. So I have chosen 5 styles. So this one here, a beautiful fern one, this beautiful dark one with like a feather, this kind of ostrich one, and then this one that's striped. And so I will do a book plate, so similar to this, and then they will be cloth lined. So this was kind of like a prototype. So these are the ones that I'm going to use. Okay, so let me take a step back. So what I did is I gutted them out, and then I lined them. You can use Tyvek or your Craftex, or you can use your heavy duct tape, whatever. But Reader's Digest journals have a tendency to crack along here, so you do want something that's going to stay very secure. So that's all I've did so far. I gutted out the book, stabilized the spine. So that's where I'm at there. So then my process is, since I'm not altering the spine, I'm keeping the spine the same. I'm using the book as is. So then I went and gathered all of my papers that I'm going to use, and I started creating my signatures. So I have 5 sets of 4 signatures, and I made them all very similar to keep the price point the same. So this set here, I made all my papers first. So I went through and I chose all my papers. I went through all my vintage fly fishing books and papers and started choosing, all of the papers that I wanted to put. I cut them down in various sizes so that not every page is exactly the same size. And so I went through and I made book page piles, and then I made journaling page piles. So that's what I did. So I went through and I made all my piles first. What I like to do is choose my cover for, I call it a cover page for the signature. So I go through and I choose my pages. So actually, this one's not a good example, but this one is. So I went through and because my signature cover page, I like to have a more sturdy cover, or page 1 of that signature. I chose kind of more thicker, either scrapbook paper or book page paper or some other type of paper. So I went through and I chose, these are actually scrapbook papers, but they're heavy, not cardstock, but heavy. So I chose 5, and then I started with that, and then I started selecting all my pages within that signature. Then, so for instance, this one, you know, I put this is some fly fishing from, you know, illustrations from a fly fishing book. So I cut them out, antique style, from my scissors. That's called, and you know, the antique cut. If you can see it or not, but it's called antique. And so it's kind of that ripped page look. Cut them out, and then I just kind of inked them, and then I adhered them onto the first page of that signature for my cover signature. Same thing I did with some magazine. I use a lot of magazine too. And then I just started, I assembled all of my pages first, you know, journaling and book pages. So I did all of that first. So these are all of my pages. So some of them, like this one here, they are small, and then I adhered them with the paper tape to put 2 pages together, because I like the paper tape because it's transparent. And of course, I like varying pages to make it interesting. And then, so for instance, this one here is from a vintage cookbook, and it's a fisherman's recipe. So I used glue, glitter glue, also with the washi tape, because I want these to make sure that they last a very long time for the person. So, you know, I put the pages together like that. And so then I just kept going and varying my pages and tea-dyed papers. Yep, here's another one that I did. Put 2 together, and then so forth. So that is how I did the signature. So like I said, I like to use a heavy cover. I choose my cover page for my journal signatures first. So I choose them. So like these 5 is scrapbook. These 5, this next set is a very heavy, it's kind of like a specialty stationery. I'm not sure what you call it, but it's thick and heavy, and I love the texture. It's different from all the other papers in the book, in the journal. So I chose 5 of those, and then I chose the signature, or all the papers within that signature, so that they're all, you know, alike. This is kind of like some really cool, I'm not sure if it's not sketching paper, but it's some type of a paper, I'm not sure. Some mapping, and again, lots of, you know, different types of papers, and nothing is digital in these. I don't use digitals. These are all secondhand, unwanted items, including scrapbook paper. I don't buy that either. I find it wherever I can find it. So again, here is some more book page snippets, I call them, kind of, to put in there. And then this one I made a tuck with part of file folders, and then some vintage, it's like an ordering magazine for fishing supplies. And so I did them basically almost all of the same. And then I sewed. I do any of my sewing, I do all of my gluing, and I do all of my stamping before I put them in the book. So I have this signature, so there's 2 sets of signatures. Okay, and then this signature, believe it or not, this is really cool. I do like the gold around it. And this is kind of a cardstock. This is actually award paper or cardstock. For like you would do achievement award, you would put it in your printer and print out your achievement or whatever. or certificate or something like that. But that's what this is, and I cut it down to size. Love it. It's very heavy. It's kind of a cardstock. And so then in this book, in this set of signatures, I did the same. I put a pocket on the inside, again with a snippet of fly fishing. And then this one here, this is kind of cool. So what I did here, this is from an old Sears and Roebuck, and I'll actually grab it for you. This is out of this book here. And it's a smaller book, you know, it's like, you know, it's the it's like a 5x7 size catalog, and it's a reproduction catalog. And it has, you know, it's a Sears Roebuck. It has all of the cool things in it from vintage. And the paper is very thin, and it would not withhold normal use as a page on its own. So what I did is I took, I'll take this out so you can see it. So I took 2 pages that I liked. Of course, men in theme. This has got some, what is this? Supplies. These are kind of supplies. And I tried to find fishing type stuff, but of course I couldn't, you know, I had to have 10 pages, and there wasn't 10 pages of fishing in there. So what I did is I took these here. Let me grab it. So what I did is I took these here. These are protective sleeves for your albums, photo albums, and they are, you know, they're, what are they? I'm sorry, acid free. I don't really know if you call them acrylic or, you know, but they're, you know, they're clear pages. I don't know the poly, I don't know what they are. But anyways, I cut them. I adhered 2 pages together. And then I used my art glitter glue, because it's fantastic. And I put them in the page. So then you kind of have this protected page, and you can't see the glue on it, how I glued them in. So I made that a page, and it's so fantastic to have something, you know, like vintage like that as a page, and plus it's a different feel. So anyways, like I said, I continued adding my various pages, different sizes. This is a colored vintage book page, and I made them into pockets here on the side. And then I made a pocket here because this is really heavy book page, and put some vintage pictures of some fishing on there. And then again, and then on the back, I did an envelope. And then so I just continued on adding, you know, I chose my papers first, and then I went through and started doing the embellishing and things. So that's my next set of signatures on that one. And then this is the last set. Now this set, you know, I did all this, I pretty much tried to keep it all the same, this last set. So I made, I mean, the person's not going to see, you know, unless they buy 2 books or whatever, but, so this last set of signatures, this is scrapbooking paper here. And then these ones are a front cover, or it's the inside cover. Yes, it was a front cover. These are like covers from a DNR magazine. I have a whole grocery sack full of them that somebody was going to pitch away, and I grabbed them. So, and I use them in all of my nature journals. So this one's got fishing, and it is a heavy paper to, you know, to be my, you know, the anchor for that signature. And then I also went through and I sewed on, you know, just like a fabric tab like on them. So they are all similar. Again, I made them pretty much the same. This is a stream book page, and here's some graph paper. Now see, this one here is exactly the same size. So when you try to turn the page, it's hard to do. So I will probably trim this paper down one of the, you know, maybe to the next line. So I will go through and I'll pull these out and I will trim them because I like the person to be able to flip through the book easily. Okay. And so, you know, of course I added some more things and snippets and, you know, here's some more book pages, you know, the fold out. I think I showed you this one in the beginning. But anyway, so this is how I did my signatures. So I have that set of 5, and those are pretty much, you know, they're all the same. So I have my 5 sets of signatures all done and completed. All of my items glued. I use my journaling stamps to stamp on some of the pages for, let me see, which one did I do? Let's see. Sorry, excuse me. So I think I did it on these ones. I didn't use them on every page. Nope, not that one. Let me see which page those were. Yeah, I didn't do them in every one, but I do like to have some line pages stamped. Or maybe it was the first set. Let me see if I can find them here for you. Is it this one? Yeah, okay, here we go. Yep, this one actually didn't have those. Okay, so for instance, so I have this little half a page. So I put a little fabric tab on it. And then on the inside, I put this line paper stamp, which is these. So I did that throughout the book, but not on every page. So I really like these. This is a recipe card, but what I did is I didn't want this border around it because I just want it to be writing. So what I did is I took my razor blade knife and I went around and I cut off this edge and this edge. So now I have straight lines. So it doesn't look like a boxed in, you know, like a recipe card. So this is, so now this is line paper like, and I have different styles. This one, you know, you can put another stamp here or something. This one's a straight one. And then I have a long one where if I want to put it, you know, at the top or bottom of a page. So, and I keep those handy right here in front of me, my new caddy that I did. Okay, so, and then also, I didn't want to make a bunch of tags because these journals are not really going to be filled with lots of tags. But what I did is I just started making some tags with some scrap, you know, scrapbook paper, cardstock. And I just started putting on some images, some vintage images. And so I will finish making these. I just put the images on them. I haven't really did the finishing touches, but so these are just some nice tags and I stamped them. And here on the back, see, I put the lines on the back of that one and that one. I'm not finished yet, but here I did that, you know, that type of stamp, and then I'll put something here. So I just made a bunch of tags. This one I put 2 holes because I'm going to put ribbon through it. Kind of cool. I'm going to make a kind of a fancy one on there. So these are all everything to do with fishing. And so I just I didn't really want to collage them up big time because most likely these will be for men. This one's got a recipe on it, and this one. Okay, so I made a few tags just to give them an idea of what they can do with it. And then I also, I don't know if you know, but on one of my other videos, I had a really big haul of some free vintage cards that a lady gave me. So I found some actually birthday and Father's Day vintage cards that have to do with fishing. So I will probably pop these in there, and that will be so much fun to, read and then journal, in there. Oops. Oh, this one is connected there, so I'll have to undo it. And here's another one that has a guy fishing. So I just thought it was really cool. And these are just so super neat. 1960. So anyways, I'm going to probably stick those in there also. Now, I got my signatures done. Now I'm at the point where I'll explain how I did my my spine. So, I have to show you my end papers. What did I do with my end papers? Let's see. Okay, what did I do with all of my end papers? I have all of my oh, here they are. Okay, so I have all of my end papers already done. I created those actually when I did this. So these are my end papers, and I have labeled them which one goes with which. So this is the one with feathers, the fern, circles. Okay, so the dots. So I labeled this, I labeled this dots because this is the one with the dots. Okay, so these are my end papers, and these are vintage book pages, thick ones. And if they were too thin, I backed them onto cardstock. So this will be my end papers like this. I sewed around it, made a pocket in the front, and this one is on the back. Now I will, so I have all my end papers for all of the books. They're all pretty much all identical. Like this one here is this way with a pocket here. They all have a pocket in the front. So, so I've made all my end papers. And so then my spine is going to be like this. So I measured out, I'll take these back because we're not going to use these right now. So what I did is I took, you can use Craft-Tex, file folder, whatever. This is file folder because it's heavy. So, but be careful though, because there are cheap file folders that are very flimsy, and then there are your heavier duty file folders, and this is the heavier duty because you want it to withhold. So I measured the space between here and here where this curve is, because these books have, a curve. So I measured the space, and then I took my scoreboard and I measured it out. I believe it's 1/4 of an inch step, and then I scored it how I wanted to score it. So then, and then I made my lines where my 4 signatures are going to be evenly spaced. I put a T for the top, so they're all consistent. Now, I made these extra wide because they won't be that wide when I put it in. So, so it will fit right into there, just like that. Okay, and I am not going to have this on top. You can have it either way. You can have your end paper go under your fabric and have your fabric show, or you adhere it here, and so then you have kind of a finished look like this. And this is what I'm going to do. This paper is going on top. So this I will trim all up. I made them longer because, I might want to, have a little bit of frilly showing at the top. It's all your choice. It's just preference. So then I glued on with Fabri-Tac. You can also use E6000 Fabri-Fuse. This is better. I first bought this when I first started out, and I realized, even though it says extreme strength, this outperformed it. I use this as a standby or for things that aren't really going to have heavy use, maybe like a tag or, you know, some type of adornment on a tag or something that's not going to be pulled on or whatever. So anyways, I Fabri-Tacked my piece of cloth on here, and this is just cotton, and it needs to be thin because I don't want this a huge step here from where the edge of this is. And then your file folder, of course, you don't, you know, it needs to be, you know, a file folder is already a decent size. So then what I'll do, and I did that on all of them already, so I will sew all of my signatures into the spine. And so, I mean, you know, you can, I made a mistake. So when I first scored these papers, I made my lines on the inside, not thinking that I had to put my cloth over top of it because I don't want this showing. So, so then I had to turn around and make all my, draw my lines for my stitches. So then my next step will be to take all my signatures, do a pamphlet stitch, and they will go here, but I'm going to be using the line in back, you know, to keep me in. There's many videos on how you sew these in, so I wasn't going to show it, but I'm just showing you my entire process of how I make these. So then I will sew all of these signatures in, and then when I have them all sewed in, then I will take my Fabri-Tac, and then I will sew the, or glue it down, put them in. I will trim them up however I want to trim them. I will put that in there. I will leave it, you know, kind of just like this to dry. And then the next day I will go in and I will put these on. I'll trim if I need to do any trimming. And then I will work on my covers. So in the cover, oh, you know what? I forgot a very important step. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot that. So I do have cloth. I'm sorry. I do have cloth to cover my spine. So I have, I'm not sure where I put them, but I do have cloth, the spine cover cloth picked out. So I will glue this on first, actually, before I put these in. I'm sorry, I missed that step. So this is not the one that goes with this, but I have, you know, cloth all picked out. So it will cover this spine, and it will just go over just a tiny bit because I like this to be shown. So it will come in there, and then it'll just kind of, it'll just go over the edge just a tiny little bit here, just a little bit, just enough to, I mean, it'll be like that, just a really small amount. And then of course, then this goes over top of it. So then your edge will be finished. So I forgot that step. Yep, this will go on. This will go on first. Then I will put the signatures in and glue that in. So, but I don't have, I don't have it handy. I'm not sure, it's not here at the desk, but I do have all my fabric picked out for the covers. So that is where I'm at, and maybe I will pop on the camera when, I mean, like I said, sewing in the signatures. Maybe I will pop on the camera after I have all of the signatures sewed in, and then maybe I will show you how I'm going to glue this on and then glue this in. I mean, it's pretty much the same as most people have on videos, but I will do it for you. So anyways, that is where I'm at, and I just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully you like my videos, and if you find them inspiring and learning something, give me a thumbs up or subscribe and share if you'd like. I really enjoy making these, and it's just so much fun. So I will talk to you all soon, and you have a great day, you guys. Bye.